Stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the Manfromleng. Thank you very much for joining me today. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Glad that you could make it today. Hi, Juicy. Glad you could make it. We are, Juicy says, just played Winnie through Untamed Wilds and Doom of Estley. Winnie crushed them and now has 13 XP. Awesome. Hello, Lettuce Folk. Welcome to the stream. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We are going to do Ultimatum of Chaos. So we are going to fire up a random deck. And I think we're going to play the Witching Hour. I haven't played that on stream, and I don't think I've played it on stream yet. So should be very exciting. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the stream. Before I get started, I just want to thank the patrons of the channel for their tremendous support. Special thanks to our latest patron, Charles B., who signed up, Embrace the Darkness here just the other day. Charles, you are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And hopefully all the best to you in your Arkham horror adventures. And we will do our best to provide fantastic Arkham horror content for you. There are a couple of housekeeping issues I want to take care of before we jump into creating a deck and playing. As you may remember, I played Ashcan Pete through Where Doom Awaits on the last stream, and I ended up losing. Well, funny story, I actually won that game, thanks to everyone who posted in the comments and on Reddit. Apparently, I can't do math very well, because during the critical turn when I did when I played Winging It, and to collect the 2 clues at Sentinel Hill, I thought I was 4 up before the poll, and then I pulled a -5, which would be a failure. Fortunately or unfortunately, I forgot to include the magnifying glass in my tally of intellect icons when I did that, so I was actually 5 up before the poll. So we ended up being 5 up, and we pulled a -5, so we did actually win that scenario on that critical turn. So that's awfully nice to find out. I'm glad people are watching the stream to the end and are able to point out an error like that. Math was never my strong suit, so it's nice that all that hard work at the beginning didn't go to waste. So I will be playing Lost in Time and Space here at some point with Ashcan Pete, who I believe he picked up at least 4 XP because we killed Seth, we killed the Wizard of Yog-Sothoth, and we also cleared the Sentinel Hill. So that's at least 4. I'm not sure if there are any other XP available in the resolution. So we can pay. I probably don't actually have to pay for the Test of Will, since I would have played that after I would have won the game. So we've got 4 XP to work with going into the final scenario. I think I had some left over as well, so I'll be able to make a few changes to the deck. One of the cards that I forgot to pick up was Cornered, which is a pretty amazing card for in any Survivor deck. So I'll probably be picking up 2 copies of that, and then we'll see what we have left over. The other bit of housekeeping, I was at FFG's website today, and it would seem that, I don't know if they have announced this anywhere, but I was checking their products page, and it would seem that Weaver of the Cosmos, the final Mythos pack in the Dream Eater cycle, has been pushed back to June. The Blob That Eats Everything is supposedly now coming out in July. The Investigator starter decks and Return to the Forgotten Age are now scheduled for August, and that means the Innsmouth Conspiracy, the next deluxe expansion in the for the game that obviously is set in Innsmouth will be coming out in September at the earliest. Now, this is all dependent on how things go with the COVID-19 pandemic. FFG has initially thought that Weaver was coming out in May. It now appears that June is the date for that. That also includes the Blood of Balshandor, the Dexter Drake novella is also slated for June. So we will wait. We will have to wait a little bit longer to wrap up that saga. Normally I would be annoyed by this, but since I am far behind on my reviews, I'm not actually that disappointed, because it will give me time to catch up. And hopefully by the time the Innsmouth Conspiracy is released, we will be ready to pick up where we left off. Hi Aegeus, welcome to the stream. Yeah, these are the US release dates, and I assume they're the release dates for the Plateau as well. I think some people in Europe already have their copies of the Dreamweavers and whatnot. So, and I think there are copies of Blood of Balshandor floating around as well. We do know that Dexter Drake is a 0/2 rogue, a mystic with 0/2 rogue. So, if you want to play him, you can do that on Octagon, or probably Tabletop Simulator as well, depending which program you use. Hi Tribulation Solo, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. So some people in Europe are lucky and already have their copy of Weavers. The rest of us are going to have to wait a little bit longer. So let us get with those two items out of the way. Let's get some chaos going here. We are going to... I just need to make sure I'm on the right windows, because I have to share my screen for this one, because for some reason it doesn't work very well when I try to Windows capture in this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Ultimatum of Chaos. Now, I'm not entirely sure where this came from. I think it may have just been a product of the ArkhamDB deck builder, which... because it is an online deck builder, you can create random decks. And I was playing around with this. Hi, Los Archivos de Arkham. Welcome to the stream. I was playing around with it the other night, and the results were fantastically bad in some cases. Well, most cases. The one deck that I built was a Jenny Barnes deck that had... no allies in it, but it had calling in favors, which I guess isn't going to be all that helpful. And one of her splash cards was Alchemical Transmutation. So I guess if you need to generate resources as Jenny, you could theoretically use Alchemical Transmutation, but there are far better options out there. So the real question is, how hard do we want to make this on ourselves? If you it doesn't work with certain investigators, of course. The investigators who are largely just a single class, or investigators that have special deck building restrictions. I assume that it doesn't work particularly well with somebody like Carolyn Fern, who can use cards that heal. It probably doesn't pick that up very well. Playing an investigator, one of the Dunwich investigators, is interesting because you never know what those 5 splash cards could be. If you really want to make it tough on yourself, which I'm leaning to, you can play Lola, and in which case, who knows what you're going to get, because she can play everything. So we may end up doing Lola, and if that proves to be a total disaster, maybe we'll try somebody else. I tested a Daisy Walker earlier, and that was an interesting... Hi Ben, welcome to the stream. We are doing Ultimatum of Chaos today. We are going to be building a random deck in ArkhamDB, and then we're going to play it through the witching hour and see how we do. So I think what we shall do is we will switch over to ArkhamDB here. Let's see if it works. and we will... So we've... look at all these investigators. Remember back in the day when we had... Hi, Chad. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Look at all these investigators that we have. Remember back in the day when we only had 5? Wow. Now there are these, plus we're going to get 4 more in the investigator, or 5 more in the investigator starter decks, plus another 5 in the Innsmouth conspiracy. At least 5, so who knows? Maybe they'll double up on one class like they did in Circle Undone. Hi Bernard, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We are doing Ultimatum of Chaos, so we are going to build a random deck. Let's go for Lola. She's the if you want random, she will give you random. So here we are. If you haven't tried Ultimatum of Chaos, actually this might fail because oh, that's good, Ben. Dexter Drake is coming next week. Okay. Yeah, I was just talking about that. The FFG site says June, so we'll see. We have Lola Hayes. You must have at least 7 cards from 3 different factions. So that is a possibility that it will not this will not succeed. So if you haven't done Ultimatum of Chaos before, you head over to ArkhamDB, you go to build a deck, and then there's this button right here that says Chaos, and that will generate a random deck for you. So here we go. Let's see how we do, and see if we can't. Okay, so I don't think we generated a... I don't think we got the deck that we need. It's pretty awful, though. Holy cow. So we have... In this deck, we've got a knife, a Kukri, a meat cleaver, an Occult Lexicon. I guess that's okay. An old book of lore, ritual candles, dream-enhanced serum, shriveling, sixth sense, the crystallizer of dreams, a lucky cigarette case, an arcane initiate, Gregory, Henry Wan, Leo DeLuca, and Olive McBride. Talk about a spread of allies there. Wow. Some good, some bad. We've got a Dig Deep. Okay, I haven't played with Dig Deep in a long time. Hi Byzantium, welcome to the stream. We've got some handcuffs. We've got Eat Lead. We've got Let Me Handle This, which is useless in solo. We've got a coup de grace, a fight or fight, a ghastly revelation, which that's pretty bad too. We've got persuasion, scrounge for supplies, shortcut, swift reflexes, think on your feet, able-bodied, defiance, manual dexterity, overpower, prophecy, and resourceful. So we need 7 cards from 3 different factions. How are we doing here? We've got Meat Cleaver, Dig Deep, Fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 1 survivor card. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hi, Hippo Typos. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. How are we doing here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Secret cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got enough Mystic cards. We are missing... Eat Lead is not good because we don't have any firearms. So we have to get I think we have to add a survivor card and we have to add a seeker card. So let us do that. We're going to have to, we'll have to fiddle with this randomness a little bit just to get us a legal deck here. But let us take out, we'll take out Henry Wan, because I never liked him. And we will add, we will use his deck slot to add, we need to add a Seeker and a Survivor card. So we'll take out, this is events, right? I think I'll take out the Crystallizer as well, just because we only have one event we can stack on it. That's not going to go very well either. So we'll take out the Crystallizer. So we need to add one Survivor card and one Seeker card. So let's add a, let's improve our, let's give our investigation a boost with a magnifying glass. And maybe, what else can we have? Newspaper? Does that get us? Yeah, okay. So we've had to boost, we boosted our investigation a little bit. But yeah, this is the deck. So we've got a knife, a kukri, a magnifying glass, meat cleaver, newspaper, occult lexicon, old book of lore, and ritual candles as assets. We've also got a dream enhancing serum, shriveling sixth sense, lucky cigarette case, arcane initiate, Gregory Greed, Leo DeLuca, Olive McBride, and dig deep in handcuffs. In the events, we've got eat lead, let me handle this. Oh, I should have taken out the let me handle this. Okay, let's take out the let me handle this and put back Henry Wan, because he's awful. We can't use the let me handle this. So that's pretty easy choice there. Where is Henry? Here's Henry. Yeah, the Patreon list is growing, Bernard. Thanks to everyone again for their support. Charles B is the latest one to join the list. That was awesome. We need a random weakness. Let's see what we get. We get amnesia. Okay, so we get to discard our lousy hand. That will be all right. So I haven't finished swapping over my my version of Octagon for the official one. So we may not have some card images here, but we are going to just try to speed this process up. And oh, we need one card. What do you mean we need a card? I thought I added Henry Wan and took out one. How did that happen? Okay. Shouldn't have dropped a card. I should have had... what else did we take out? We took out... Yeah, we took out stuff we couldn't... Let's add a skill, since skills are good for her. A guts. Let's throw in a guts. That should get us back to... that will get us back to where we need to be. Alright, so here's the deck. Man, what a pile of jank this is. Let us try to export it. Let's see if we can't... yeah, so it basically just created a deck that includes everything, an even number of cards from all of the classes. Let's see if we can't download this thing. All right. What do we need to do now? We need to add... let's swap over to... Just swap back to this for a second. While I load this deck up, and we will add the... Chaos bag. So yes, Ultimatum of Chaos. I have not played an Ultimatum of Chaos deck yet. So this should be very interesting, especially with Lola Hayes. I just want to see how we're doing in terms of images. Not too bad, actually. We're missing some of the new ones, but that's fine. All right, so we need to add a chaos bag. So that is going to be... we need a +1. So if we can find our set of markers and tokens. Hopefully that, yeah, did that. Okay. Global chaos bag. So we need a +1, 2 zeros, 2 -1s, 2 -2s, a -3, a -4, 2 skulls, 2 elder things, because we're not taking the we are not taking the tower weakness. An auto fail, and an elder sign. All right, we have a chaos bag. We are ready to embark on chaos, to unleash chaos. Let us head over to Octagon and see if we can't. No, what you doing there? Why is it showing that one? Yeah, for some reason I've had nothing but issues with... There we go. All right. I think we're ready to go here. So let's load up our decks and play. So Lola is the best investigator. Here we go. This could be tricky to remember her stuff. We'll throw all this stuff back in the deck so we can draw a proper starting hand. And load up the Witching Hour. So, if I remember correctly, we need 5 locations. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We will toss Lola in front of one of them since we don't really care which one she goes in front of. We can put these back in the deck now when we need the Arkham Woods. If we can discover clues, that's a big if. And move things around a little bit here so I can see the chat. And I think that's all we need to do. So let us draw our opening hand. And here we go. All right, we've got manual dexterity, swift reflexes, an arcane initiate, Henry Wan, and an occult lexicon. So if we get the occult lexicon, we would get some healing. I think we're going to pitch Henry for sure. The swift reflexes isn't going to do us much good. We're looking, I think what we really need is a magnifying glass, and so we will pitch most of that hand. I think we'll keep the occult lexicon just because that will get us soothing melody. So let's see what else we get here. We get able-bodied, All right. Gregory. So there's some resource generation. A coup de grace. So we can kill an enemy with one strength, or one that takes 1 damage. And a lucky cigarette case. So we went heavy into rogue, which is interesting because I think rogue was not one of the... Okay, so where do we start off? Let's get our 3 actions here first of all. So first off, so we could go lucky cigarette case to succeed by 2. That seems highly unlikely with Lola. We've got Gregory for some resource generation and some health. That wouldn't be too bad. Able-bodied, we'll just have to wait. That gives us combat and agility. We'll have no items, so it's 3 combat and 3 agility icons at the moment. So I think what we will do... Is it worth playing the Occult Lexicon just to get the soothing melody so we have some healing? I think I'm going to wait. Let's get Gregory out first. Let's check this, what this location is first. Witch Haunted Woods, Cairnstone's 3 Shroud location with 2 clues. After any number of clues are discovered from this location, each investigator at this location loses an equal number of resources. All right, well that makes sense that we should play Gregory then, because that will give us clues. So let us be a rogue first off. How will I signify that? I'm just going to put a green thing on her. So we'll use our first action to play Gregory. And he enters play with 9 resources. Unfortunately, we have to be a rogue to trigger his response, which is going to be tricky during actions, since our only skill is able-bodied. We might as well do some investigating. We don't have any... Well, we've got an Occult Lexicon, but I don't think we can commit that unless we are a seeker. So let's do some investigating. We are going 3 versus 3. I don't have anything to add to that, so I don't think we're going to trigger Gregory at this time. Chaos Bag gives us an Elder Sign. Hey, so we can swap. We get +2 and we can swap roles if we want. So we grab a clue and we lose a resource. All right. I guess we'll just keep investigating. Chaos Bag says -3 that time, so we do fail. Okay. First turn in the bag, we draw Eat Lead. Oh, great. That will go really well with all of the firearms that we're playing. So we are still a rogue. We will go to the first Mythos Phase. Should just check to make sure that this is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Good. Good, good, good. All right. So if we need to fight something, we have the coup de grace, which gives us two combat icons. We have a lucky cigarette case that we can commit if we need to for a willpower skill test as well. All right, our first encounter card of the game is going to be a witch. Wow. All right. So when she comes into play, we have to discard the top 2 cards of the encounter deck. And if this causes the encounter deck to run out of cards, that is not a big issue at the moment. So we get rid of a Rotting Remains and a Centuries of Secrets. All right. We go to the investigation phase. We have a witch to deal with. She is 2. We are 3. So if we defeat the witch, we could play the coup de grace to defeat the witch to draw a card. But we want to play that as our last action, because otherwise it will end our turn. So let's go... I guess we'll just attack it. We'll just go 3/3. I could switch to... I could switch. We are 3-1, or 3-2, so we're up 1. Do we spend a resource for Gregory? I don't know. If we were 2 up, I would do it, but I think with being just 1, it's not enough. So 3-2. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we hit the witch for a damage. Yes, that's the way, Lola. All right. Now we could play Coup de Grace, which would kill the witch, but that would end our turn prematurely. So I don't want to do that. Let's attack the witch again, and if we fail, then we can kill the witch with the Coup de Grace. I could throw the bullets. Yeah, I could throw bullets if I had a gun, for one, and if I had this Ultimatum Chaos is certainly interesting, especially when you're playing somebody like Lola who can play every card in every level 0 card in the game. Let us attack the witch again and see if we can't kill it. We get another -1. So hey, look at that. Lola is a combat monster. Who would have guessed? We kill the witch. So we have 1 action remaining, which we could use to investigate. Is there worth switching to anything? We'd just be going 3 versus 3 again. 3v3 is not great, but we might as well give it a try. Chaos Bag gives us a +1. Look at that. Lola is amazing. Yeah, I did discard for the witch, Bernard. We pitched a series. When the witch came in, we got rid of a Rotting Remains, which is probably very good because we'd be very vulnerable to that, and a Centuries of Secrets. All right, so the witch is gone. And we grabbed a clue, so everything is looking up. We can advance if we want. That would bring out we'd need to make an agility skill test. So what we could do, we could switch to Survivor, advance, and then that will pull the goat spawn, and then we have a chance to play able-bodied to evade it for a turn. I think I'm going to do that. Let's switch to Survivor. You should get more clues before advancing. Yeah, that's probably true. We could get... I'm always very quick to advance on this one for some reason, but yeah, it does make sense to... So we'll be patient. Let's be patient. That's probably one of my weakest parts of being a player, is that I consider this game to be a race, so I always go very quickly when I should just be a little more patient and use the agenda deck has 8 Doom Threshold for a reason. So we go to the, hey, we drew Guts, something we can actually play. So that's good. We add a Doom, so we are at 2 of 8, and our encounter card is going to be another Witch. Well, look at that. The witches are just coming out in droves. We discard a Dissonant Voices and another Centuries of Secrets. How many clues do you need? 3, 4. Is it 3? 3 clues, yeah. So we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clues. Okay. But we have another witch to worry about. All right, so let's fight the witch. We will attack the witch. Again, we're still a rogue. We will go 3v1. We might as well try to use Gregory since we are a rogue. Let's throw a resource. We're going to succeed by 1, at least, I bet. 3v2. We fail. Okay. Let's try again. 3v2. What we could do is go, we could swap, we could use the coup de grace to go 5v2, then swap and use the eat lead to go 4v2. Let's do that. So we will commit the coup de grace to this one. So we are going 5v2. Chaos Bag says Skull. That, I believe, is a -1. So we do hit it. We will use Lola's free triggered ability to switch to Guardian, and then we will commit Eat Lead to go 4v2, and we kill it. We pull a -2, so another witch is dead. Lola. Look at Lola go. Yeah, the Chaos Bag is being pretty reasonable. I think the Chaos Bag in this one is actually pretty nice. There are 2 Elder things in the bag, which are -3s, but the skulls are -1s, and there's... so the rest of it isn't too bad. So we are a Guardian at the moment. And that was our turn. So we pull another rogue card. We've got to think on your feet. So that's okay. Fast play when an enemy would spawn at your location. We can immediately move. The problem is most of the enemies in here are witches, and we kind of need them dead, so running away from them is not a great option. Turn 4. 3 of 8 Doom. We will draw an encounter card, which is Evil's Past. We put that into our threat area, and when the deck runs out of cards, we are going to take some horror. Not much we can do about that. Let us switch back to Rogue. We're a Guardian, so we could go... switch to Seeker, play Occult Lexicon. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get the Occult Lexicon down. So we're going to switch to Seeker. We will play the Occult Lexicon for 2. We will... so we get 3 copies of Soothing Melody. We get 1 in our hand and 2 in the 2 in our deck. So So we'll shuffle that up. So we are currently a Seeker. But we do have, now we've got a card with 3 icons on it, and we get to heal 2 damage or horror and draw a card. So that was our first action. Let's move. We are now at the Witch Haunted Woods, the Lonely Tree, 2 shroud location with 1 clue. Oh, that's right. It's not. Oh, you're right. You're right. It's the other one. It's the, that's right. I had Hallowed Mirror in my mind. Where is that card? Pull those out. It's, thanks, Alex. What's the card's name? I'm blanking on it. It's the Seeker one where you attack. You can attack with it. Yeah, I'm blood rights. Okay, let's add some blood rights. Is it blood right? For some reason it's not coming up. There it is. Blood. Oh, it's hyphenated. Oh, brother. Okay. That's weird. All right, we'll create some of those then. And one more. No, you were right. You were right, Juicy. It's the spelling of the word that is was throwing me, because it's hyphenated on this thing. So we get 2 of those in our and we draw 1. So now we have some offense. We've got some offense if necessary, which might come in handy. All right. We are back. We are back. So we are at the Witch Haunted Woods, the Lonely Tree. You cannot investigate this location while you have between 3 and 5 cards in your hand. So we need a card. We could play the Blood Right to draw 2 cards and then discard 1. Or we could just wait till upkeep to draw 1. But I would prefer to save it as an offensive option. Yes, I do. Yeah, I would rather save it for the offensive option rather than... Okay, so what do we do here? Do we draw another card? I guess we are a Seeker, which kind of hoses us if we draw a Crisis of Identity now. But I can't swamp. Hey, what's going on here? Hey, Lucas, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. We are going to go... We can't investigate. We might as well just draw a card. We get the handcuffs. Awesome. I don't even know what handcuffs do, to be honest. If handcuffs is not attached to an enemy, evade. Use only on a humanoid enemy. This evasion attempt uses combat instead of agility. If you succeed, attach the handcuffs to the enemy. If attached enemy is non-elite, it cannot ready and doom cannot be placed on it. Yeah, that's not helpful. We could try to handcuff the goat spawn. That's an option. Because then he would just sit there. Now I have a couple options, Juicy, to deal with the goat spawn. I can handcuff it. All right. but we need to play the handcuffs. We need to get the handcuffs down and then evade the goat spawn, which is actually pretty easy. Goat spawns are like evade 2, and I think they are humanoid. So we draw the old book of lore. Now that is actually helpful. Although again, it is an action, so we can't use it all that much. So yeah, I think maybe we attempt to handcuff the goat spawn and take him out of the play. So we go to 4 of 8. Our encounter card. Oh man, another witch. Yeah, we do need to play the handcuffs before we bring out the goat spawn. So we have another witch to deal with, however. So we are a seeker. So we could bloodwrite the seeker, but then we wouldn't be able to investigate. We are just going 3v2. I think I want to get out of seeker before we do any before we lose our occult. So let's switch to we don't need to switch yet, but we want to switch to, we want to get the handcuffs down. Let's just attack 3v2. We draw a 0, so we smack the witch in the face with our first action. Let's continue this cat fight. Lola and the witch. Elder sign. Hey, we get a free swap and we kill the witch. Let's swap to Guardian. No, we don't want to do that yet. We want to we are a seeker. We could go neutral for the time being. Or we could go survivor. No. Honestly, I think we just stay as a seeker. Crisis is a threat, but we can, at least as a seeker, we can discard the old book of lore. We've got the guts, the old book of lore, and the bloodwrite that we can use if we need to make a willpower skill test. So let's just investigate. We're going to go 3v2. Chaos Bag gives us another +1. Look at us go. All right, we've got 3 clues. We need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get 6 clues, we can just super advance through this. We draw another copy of Bloodwrite. All right, we are a seeker. Do we want to switch? I don't think so. So 5 of 8. We draw a Diabolic Voices. Oh, yes. Okay. So test 3. For each point you fail by, discard a random card from your hand. For each card you cannot discard, take a horror or a damage. I don't believe there are any Diabolic Voices in the discard pile, but we will check anyway. Just to make sure. There are not. So it is 3v3. We do have... I'm going to pitch the old book of lore. We'll commit the old book of lore for 1 to go 4v3. And we get a 0. So, great. Okay, so we want to think about getting the handcuffs down so we can wrap up the goat spawn when we spawn him. Let's play them now. We'll swap to Guardian, play the handcuffs. Yeah, this is definitely not the deck that I expected to play. For those of you who just joined us, we are playing Ultimatum Chaos. So this is a random deck that we had to tweak just slightly to make it legal with Lola, because she needs 7 cards from 3 different classes. But yeah, that is why that is why we have such a wild variety of cards here. Let's keep on moving here. We go to the next location, the Overgrown Barn. 3 shroud location with 1 clue. When an enemy would spawn at a different Witch Haunted Woods location, we can spawn it at this location instead. Then it will attack. So that's kind of irrelevant. We are a Guardian. We can go 3v3. It's really all we can do. We get a -2, so no luck there. We go to the upkeep. We draw a prophecy. So that's good, as long as we use the prophecy. Well, we have to be a mystic, so that's going to be tough at the moment since we are a guardian. We could advance during the Mythos phase. I just want to get the handcuffs on the goat spawn. 6 of 8 doom. Encounter card is another Diabolic Voices, so this is a 4v3 test. I think now is the time to use the guts. So we will go 5v3, 5v4. 5v4. We get a -1. So we succeed and we draw a card. We have Ritual Candles, so now we're drawing into our Mystic cards. So I think during the... action, the free triggered ability window during the Mythos phase, we're going to advance the act. Oh, it's at the end of the round. Oh, shoot, I should have done it last round. Yeah, okay, we'll do it at the end of this coming round here. In the meantime, we will keep on trying to grab these clues. We're going 3v3. We are a guardian still. 3v3 Chaos Bag gives us a 0, so we grab this clue. So we've got 4 of the 6 clues we need. Might as well keep going here. We'll move. We end up in the Witch Haunted Woods Hermit's house. 4 shroud location. 2 clues. After any number of clues are discovered from this location, each investigator at this location must discard an equal number of cards. That's going to be tough. That is going to be very tough. So I think we're going to move off that to this one and see if it's any better. Yes, it is. 2 shroud location with 1 clue. You cannot investigate this location while you have between 3 and 10 resources. Okay, so we need to spend some resources. We could play the... I don't know, playing the Ritual Candles might be a good call because we do get +1 skill value for tests. But we are going to advance at the end of the round. Oh, and I drew the Crisis! No! That's what I was trying to avoid. Okay, we lose the handcuffs. Oh, I was so ready to... If I had just done it the last turn like I was planning on. So we discard the handcuffs, then discard the top card of our deck. We are now a Seeker. Switch your role to the class of the discarded card. Yeah, okay. Well, that's too bad. I was really looking forward to handcuffing the goat spawn, but now we are going to have to do it a different way. Hi, CryoShark. Welcome to the stream. We are playing Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes. We just lost our handcuffs to Crisis of Identity. I guess what we could do is... goat spawns have 3 health, I believe, which is kind of annoying because Bloodright won't kill them outright. I guess we'll advance. It's the end of the round, so we might as well advance now. Alright, so we choose a random Arkham Woods location. The random Arkham Woods location is the Unhallowed Ground, 4-shard location, 1 clue. After you enter this location, take test 4, or we take a willpower or a damage and a horror. Hi, Jacques. Welcome to the stream. It's going okay. Better than I thought, playing Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola. We're still alive. So we have to test 4 willpower. And we are a guardian, so we don't have anything we can commit. We take a damage and a horror. All right, then we spawn a goat spawn there. So we get a goat spawn. Oh, I was so looking forward to handcuffing the goat spawn. That would have been such a great play. So we get the goat spawn. So we test 3 willpower or 3 agility. We can disengage. Oh, I'm a Seeker. Right. I'm a Seeker. I forgot about that. No, I haven't considered TTS. I still... I mean, maybe it could be better. I just haven't tried it. I like Octagon. I'm familiar with the controls, and I can play fairly quickly on it. And so he is going to... yeah, I think because of the way that Streamlabs now interacts with Octagon, it may be causing some sort of interactions. So we have to test 3 willpower or 3 agility to evade this. Oh, and we need to get the demonic piping. The demonic piping in there as well. So 1 goes in there and 2 in the deck. All right, so we need to test 3 agility to evade this guy. So we're going 3-2. We are a Seeker. So let's go 3-2. We get a -1, so he is evaded. So we evade the goat spawn. And there is one clue here. If I can hit the right button. There we go. One clue on the Arkham Woods. So that happened at the end of the turn. We had to spend 2 clues to do that. Now we could spend another clue just to advance this. So we can now enter locations. That's not that important. And now we end up with, we need 3 clues to advance, and we've got 1. So we're going to the Mythos Phase. 7 of 8 Doom. We get a Frozen in Fear. So move, fight, and evade is going to cost us an additional action, and we need to find out how we can get rid of the I think what we do, let's switch to Mystic. I'm going to play the Ritual Candles. And then we were going to stay as a Mystic so we can use the Prophecy to break the Frozen in Fear. Because it's going to be 3 wild icons. Do we want to stay with the goat spawn? We need to actually get rid of another resource somehow before we can investigate that location. We don't have a way of doing that very easily. Going 3v4 is not going to be. We've only got 1 easy clue, and then we're going to have to grab 2 hard clues. But getting that easy clue, we need to be between 2 and 11 resources. So we need to somehow get rid of resources, which is not easy for this deck. We may have to play like our Lucky Cigarette Case or something like that, just to bring it down. Investigating here. Oh yeah, we can use the ability. Can we move? Let me see. No, I don't think I can use the woods, Alex, because I have to choose an investigator at a different location, and there are no other investigators. I could blood rights the guy. I could blood rights this goat spawn. Deal a couple damage to him. That would be draw 2 cards. And then discard 2 cards and spend 2 resources to deal 2 damage to the goat spawn. But we would need to... Yeah, I need to take back the candles. That's what we need to do. Because that... So we go back. Have to... takesy backsies here for a second. So we play... We're going to play Bloodright. So we were... I forget what we were. We'll be a Seeker. We draw 2 cards. There's a Knife and a Kukri. Yeah, let's commit the Kukri. And the... What won't I ever play? The knife might actually be useful. Spend an additional action to deal +1 damage. I mean, I might be able to use the Kukri to kill a gnat. Because I think that I can't remember what the shroud value is on the witch's circle, but we're probably going to have to kill a gnat. And a Kukri is actually pretty good. I'm not going to get rid of the Kukri. Look at that. Let's get rid of... I'm never going to use the lucky cigarette case, or I think on your feet. So we will discard those 2 cards. We will pitch 2 resources to deal 2 damage to the... We'll deal 2 damage to the goat spawn. So I'm just going to put this card here just to say we're a seeker. We can move. We're going to move away. Now we can investigate. 3v2. Oh, that's going to cause... Yeah, that's frozen and fear triggers. That'll cost us 2 actions. Yeah, the move costs 2 actions. Maybe we just play the Kukri. I mean, we're going to take a horror if we kill the goat spawn, but we can dump that on Gregory. The Kukri at least would give us a chance to kill it. We'd be 4v3. And we could throw the knife. What was I when I started this turn? Was I a seeker? Hi Kodab Games, welcome to the stream. We are playing Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes, which is chaos for sure. Was I a seeker before I started this turn? I was a seeker. Okay, so I can switch to... it is a totally random deck. That is why there is a knife, a Kukri, Ritual Candles, Prophecy in my hand, as well as a Well-Bodied. I crisised into Seeker. Okay, good. So I can switch to Mystic to turn the Prophecy on. I'm going to play the Kukri. So I can't fight the goat spawn this turn, but I will switch into Mystic. Or do I... a blade obsessed Lola. Yeah, no, this is not the type of Lola deck that I'm all that familiar with playing. So we have a weapon, a neutral weapon, which is nice. We're going to take... What action do we take? I think I'm just going to gain a resource. So we can play the Mystic, the Ritual Candles next turn. Okay, so now we'll test for Frozen in Fear. We'll commit the Prophecy, so that's 3 wild icons. So we're going 6v3. We draw -2, so that is gone. Okay, so we are a mystic. I'm just going to use the Prophecy as my reminder here of what I am. Maybe I have my, do I still have my, I had little swatches. Oh, I do have them. Awesome. Okay, there we go. I made little swatches just for this sort of thing. So let's make a couple of those. So we've got a Seeker swatch, we've got a Mystic swatch. Okay, so we got rid of the Frozen in Fear. That's a huge. That's great. We get all of McBride. Ooh, we're drawing some pretty decent Mystic cards here. Gregory hasn't done anything for us. Gregory, I think we could just kill him. I don't know. Maybe we play Olive? He will engage us. So we are going to advance here. We are advancing to the next act. Or next agenda, sorry. So discard all but the top 5 cards, and the investigator with the most cards in his play area then must draw the top most witch enemy. I have a feeling I'm going to draw that Mega Witch. Since I've killed all the witches earlier in the game. No, she went into the discard pile, so... Come on, give me another witch. Don't give me Mega Witch. Oh, there she is. Top 5, then I play that witch and lose 2 more. So we're down to 2 copies of Demonic Piping went in. Wow. Alright, so we've got another witch. We do not, so that's okay. And we advance to Agenda 2A. We are a mystic. We are going to draw an encounter card, which is going to be racked. Oh. That's awful. So our first attack each turn, our first action each turn is at -1. Okay, and then... but we can get rid of it if we exhaust a witch. So I think that's probably our best bet. If we exhaust this, if we evade this witch... then we can get rid of the racked and the goats. And so kill the goat spawn, exhaust the witch. We just need to take an action first. We'd be going 2v2. We are a mystic, but we could swap to Survivor. We could blow an evade. Blow an evade on the witch. Swap to Survivor. Use our able-bodied to kill the goat spawn. And then... if we didn't evade the... if we did evade the witch, we could try to get rid of the racked. It's just this goat spawn has retaliate, and we're only 4v3 with the Kukri. Let's do that, I think. It's kind of janky, but this entire game is janky as hell. Yep, never thought I'd play a deck with a Kukri and Ritual Candles in it, but here we are. So we will attempt to evade the witch. We're going to go 2v2 because of the racked. 2v2 to evade the witch. We get a -3, so that's a failure, but that's okay. We'll swap to Survivor. We're going to swap over to Survivor. Do we have any items? We have an item. We have 2 items, so our able-bodied is not quite as good. 2 or fewer items, so it's a 2-2. We'll swap to Survivor. We'll play the able-bodied. So we are going 3, 4, 5, 6. 6v3 versus the goat spawn. We get an Elder Sign. So we get a free switch. So we'll think about that for a moment. The goat spawn is dead. And we take a horror. Gregory can do something useful for us at least. Really wish I could have evaded that witch. Now we have a switch. Is there a switch we want to do? We want to save Bloodright because we can do 2 damage to a net with it. And then we can put her between the Bloodright and the Kukri. We might be able to kill a net. Yeah, I really want to get rid of the racked. And this is probably my only chance. So evading the witch doesn't do me any real good this turn, since she just pops back up. But I don't really have anything I can do. Let's just try to evade the witch to prevent ourselves from taking some damage, or some horror, sorry. So we're going to go 3v2. We get another +1, so the witch is evaded for the time being. Really too bad we didn't have an additional action that we could use to get rid of that racked, but we'll have to wait on that. So we get another ally, the Arcane Initiate. We've got lots of allies to burn for horror if we need to. Lots of horror soak in our hand. So we add a doom. We are at 12, 1 of 12. It's turn 10. Another evil's passed. Just gain surge. No events or assets. We draw a Dissonant Voices. So no events or assets. We are a survivor. Is there anything we want to switch to? Not really. I sort of want to evade the witch, get rid of the racked, but it's going to take us to... Hi Pizda, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We are playing Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes. We are currently in the witching hour. We've killed tons of witches. Lola is a combat machine with her Kukri. Let us go. So we need to evade the witch. 2 versus 2. We don't have anything to commit to it. So let's do that. We get a -1. Let's try again. We get a +1. Okay, so the witch is evaded. And then we get rid of the Racked as our last action. All right, now we can kill the Witch. We draw an Improvisation. So we can switch roles and play a card for free. We don't have a ton of cards that we can play. Yeah, Annette's going to get a Kukri in the back. That's for sure. How close are we to taking 2 horror? Oh, we should have taken 2 horror already because of this. So we have to test for evil past. When an encounter deck runs out of cards, take 2 horror and test 3. If you succeed, we discard evil past. We have nothing we can commit to it, so we'll just go 3/3, and we draw -3. Choose an exhausted or damage. Which enemy? Yeah, that wouldn't have mattered. So we just get, we take 2 horror. So Gregory will die. He didn't do very much for us anyway. And we will add a horror to us. But we have lots of soak. So we are going to go to the Mythos Phase. 2 of 12. We draw a Demonic Piping. So that goes by the encounter deck, I believe. If Piper Vessel thought to deal 1 horror. And it just surges into another's evil's past, which is going to surge into a Centuries of Secrets, test 5. So 3v5. We get a 0, so we're discarding 2 cards. We get a Curse and an Ancient Evils. A Curse Treachery was discarded. Deal 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally. So Gregory was going to die either way. All right, now we can kill the Witch. But unfortunately, we are back up to 4 resources, so we need to... if we want that clue, we need to get down some resources, so we may have to play some cards here. We could play... Hi, and welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We could play Olive McBride. I kind of want to switch to Mystic, because there's lots of stuff we can play. That's gone. Let's kill the Witch first with our Kukri. We will go 4v2. We could spend an additional action to kill it in 1 shot. I may spend if I succeed. So 4v2. We get a -1, so we can spend an additional action with the Kukri to kill the Witch. That gives us 1... Yes, Ben, I can play neutrals regardless of what role. I'm going to switch to Mystic. And I'm going to play Olive. So that's mostly just for the horror soak. We switch to Mystic, we play Olive. Then we can play the Ritual Candles and then go and investigate. We're gonna need to draw something that can help us investigate here. We've got a lot of willpower icons and none. There's Leo. Now Leo would be awesome if we could get him down. We do have an improvisation. We could switch to Rogue and drop Leo and get 4 actions a turn, which with the Kukri is pretty good. I think we may do that for sure. So we go to the Mythos Phase. We draw another Diabolic Voices. I think there's only one. I don't think there are any Diabolic Voices in the discard pile, but there are not. Test 3, for each point we fail by, we discard a random card. We are a Mystic. I think we're going to pitch a couple cards to this. So we are going to go 3, 4, 5, 5v3. We draw -1, so we pass. I think we go... Let's play Improvisation to switch to Rogue to drop Leo for 3 resources. So that is... So first we draw a card. It's a Shriveling. So we've got Leo down now. We get an extra action. And we are a Rogue. But now we can switch out of Rogue, and Leo will be safe from Crisis. So let's switch over to... I'm going to switch to Mystic just to get... because we might play the Shriveling. Hey, somebody's... Hi, thank you very much, Darth Shade, for the follow on Twitch. Thanks very much. Really appreciate that. So we've got 3 actions. We have no resources, so we can move to the Witch Haunted Woods. Now we can investigate there. So we're going 3v2. Chaos Bag gives us... There's our first auto-fail of the game. Let's try again. And a -3. So 2 fails. We need 2 clues in order to bring a net out. We draw Crisis of Identity, which completely whiffs. We have no Mystic cards. So we will discard a card, and we are now a Seeker. We got rid of our Ghastly Revelation. Oh, that's too bad. I won't be able to, like... What does it do? Discover 3 clues... And then we are defeated. So we could play that to get the clues we need, but then of course we lose the game. So not going to happen. That would be amusing. I wish it was like, it could have been a deduction. That would have been helpful. It is, we have 4 of 12 Doom. There is a second Demonic Piper. Ooh, I've never had the Piper come out. This could get interesting. Another... the Goat Spawn shows up again? Yeah, I guess he goes into the discard pile, doesn't he? Alright, so we've got the Goat Spawn back. And 2 Demonic Pipings out. That would, I've never had the Piper come out, so maybe this is the game. But we've got a Kukri. What do we have to worry about? And we've got Leo, so we can do 4 damage in a turn. I think I'm going to just evade the Goat Spawn. Let's go 3v2. We get an Elder Sign. We get a free switch. He is evaded. Delacamp Seifert, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Really appreciate it. You rock. Thank you very much for joining us today as we play Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes, the most chaotic of all the investigators in this format. We can investigate 3v2. Do we want to use our free switch? We don't have anything to really use, though, do we? No, we don't. We get a -3, so that's no good. We get an auto fail, that's even worse. And we get a -4, so 3 investigates at 3v2, and we draw all the bad chaos tokens. So that is no good. We get the Dream Enhancing Serum. Now, yeah, that's not helpful in any way, because it's just got a willpower skill icon. All right. We go to the Mythos Face. 5 of 12. We're starting to run out of time here. Encounter card is a Frozen in Fear. We don't have a really good way. We are a Seeker, though, so we can commit the Dream Enhancing Serum to get rid of that if necessary. So our first action to evade is going to cost us 2 actions. 3v2 versus the goat spawn. We get a -2. Let's try one more time. That's a -3. One more. Maybe we just attack it at this point. We'd be 3, 4v3. We can go 5v3 if we commit the knife for a damage. And then we can chop them down next turn. We get a -1, so the goat spawn takes a damage. And we will take a damage during the enemy phase. We will try to test 3v... let's commit the Dream Enhancing Serum to go 4v3. Chaos Bag says -2, so we fail that one. We get a Fight or Flight. That would be helpful. That's kind of helpful. If we are a Seeker. We can actually switch. No, we don't have a window to switch this turn. So if we switch to Seeker, we can... We get +2, +3. We could spend an action to kill the... goat spawn. It's turn 15, and our encounter card is going to be a Bedeviled. Oh, that just sucks. That's just terrible. So we cannot trigger abilities on cards we control, so that locks us out of our Kukri now. So we will need to test 3 willpower. Yeah, that's awful. We could also use... See, we're at that stupid location that we need to use... we need to bring our resources back down. Let's try to evade the goat spawn, since killing him isn't really an option at the moment. We get a -2. Another -2. Oh, this is terrible. Come on. And an auto fail. All of our good luck here is evaporating. And we draw a shortcut. We have a newspaper and a magnifying glass in this deck, but we're still nowhere near getting them. We need to test for the Frozen in Fear. We are going 3v3, which is not great. We get a -4, so that would have been... there's no way we were passing that. Yeah, we're starting to fall behind here. We were doing okay, and then we hit these. We have 2 Four Shroud locations on the table and no real way to gather clues. That's the big one right now. And we get another Racked. So we are getting crushed under the assets at this point because the game has run on too long. So we're going to be evading at... It's going to take us 2 actions, and we're going to have to... We're going to be 2v2. I think we need to switch to Survivor. Switch to Survivor. We'll use Fight or Flight. Yeah, we still can't get the clue. It's... Yeah, the problem is it has Retaliate, Juicy. If I start missing it, it's gonna... I have to kill it by hand, which is the hard part. So my first attack would be... I'd be at 5. I'd be 4v3 for the evade. Because of Racked. We get a -1, so he is evaded. Okay, so now I can't Kukri because I've got Bedeviled. Bedeviled is totally hosing me at the moment. There's nothing I can do with my Kukri. That is the problem. And I can't get the clue here now because I've got 3 resources. I mean, maybe we just Bloodwrite next turn to draw cards. Maybe that gets us a... Maybe that gets us a Mag Glass so we can try to investigate. I still have 1 improvisation in the deck. Do I just move away? Chrono Shrug, I've run Winifred through this scenario, and she's through this scenario and at Death's Doorstep, and she did fine, and she's got very low willpower. You've got to use the witches to your advantage if you're playing low willpower investigators, because you're taking a lot of tests to get rid of these racts and stuff like that is rough. So if you can get a witch out and then evade them, which is Rogue's natural ability anyway, you can evade them and then get rid of those, get rid of these without too much trouble. And the agendas in this are pretty lenient, like 8 and 12 Doom Threshold. So you do have time. It's just you've got to be patient. Yeah, exactly, yeah. If you've got witches, you can get rid of them. I need a witch right now. I really need to draw a witch. So my options here, I can't spend resources. I can't remember what I've got for survivor cards in the deck. I could take a couple of low... Let's try to get rid of the Bedeviled. So we'll go 3v3. We get a -1. Let's try again. Get a -1. And we have to discard a card from the encounter deck. Diabolic Voices. Not bad. Not sad to see that go. So we test for Frozen in Fear. 3v3. We get a -1. So close, but no cigar. We get a Dig Deep, which is, speaking of survivor cards that aren't going to help us, that is not going to help us. Actually, it does, because we can play it and get rid of 2 resources. But yeah, it's not great. And it actually has willpower. No, Dig Deep might actually be better than I think it is at this point. It's just we're running out of time. That's the problem. Mythos Phase, 8 of 12. And we get another bit. Yeah, they really don't want me using my Kukri, do we? So, yeah, after we did okay at the beginning. And we've stalled, and now we're just we're drowning in asset treacheries. Okay. How I wish that goat spawn was a witch. Yeah, we got the Leo Kukri combo online on board just as and then Bedeviled hit. So we're going 2v2 to evade. Chaos Bag says -2. Yeah, I killed a lot of I used one witch. I hung on to one witch to get rid of them, but I guess I wasn't patient enough to hang on to more of them. So 3v2. Okay, we evade this guy. We could switch or play Dig Deep. Let's play Dig Deep. So that will get us... So now we can go 5v3 for Frozen in Fear. Frozen's gone. Alright, so there's at least something positive. We get a manual dexterity. That's okay. We need to be able to grab 2 clues somehow and get a net on the table and then kill her very quickly. So we've got 9 of 12. Rotting Remains. We are going 3v3. We take 2 horror. Alright, we are gonna go to the investigation phase. We have our 4 actions back now, though, so that's good. Let's go... We'll commit the manual dexterity to go 4v2. -3. shoot. I needed the card more than anything from that. That was our best shot. I'm going to switch to Seeker. I'm going to play... Can I do this? Will it give me enough? No, I need a resource. I can just take an attack of opportunity to get a resource. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll take an attack of opportunity to get a resource. I will take it. I'll switch to Seeker. I'll play Bloodright to draw 2 cards. There's an improvisation and an overpower. Well, that doesn't help me all that much. I'm going to discard 2 cards and spend 2 resources to kill the goat spawn. And I will take a horror, or Leo will for me. We've got 2 actions to go, and we are a Seeker still, so we can investigate here and then move. Oh no, we need that one for this one. We're going to go 3v2. Have I taken an action yet? First skill test. I have not taken a skill test yet this turn, so we're going 2v2. Uh, 2v2 for the Racked. Get a -1. Let's try again. 0. Okay, we got that clue. Okay. And then I'm going to play Shortcut to move. Does it matter? Not really. So we'll move here. We can go investigate, fail, probably, and then investigate, improvisation to go 5v4 unless we draw something good. We get a resourceful. It's an intellect icon. We have a fight or flight in our hand we can get, or an able-bodied. How do we kill a net even if we can get there next turn? She is a witch. We could try to evade her, but she's a 4. (4v4) with retaliate. Maybe we'll draw a witch, but we don't have enough time, I think, now to get rid of everything we need. 10 of 12. Oh, look! It happened! It happened! The Piper is here! If there are 3 copies of Demonic Piping in play, discard them to spawn the Piper of Azathoth. That is the first time that has ever happened to me. So that's pretty much game at that point. There's no way we're killing a 7 health enemy. No, I've never seen it either. Here he is. Since we just took too long. Piper of Azathoth shows up. 5 combat, 7 health, 2 evade. Prey, least remaining sanity, or just me. Alert, hunter, and retaliate. Yeah, but he is alert. And he hits for 2 horror, which is enough to kill me. I can take 2 hits from him before I die. When the enemy phase ends, Piper of Azathoth attacks each investigator it is not engaged with at its location. So it is going to get me regardless of whether it is exhausted or not. So I guess we could smack it. I really wish I feel so robbed in a way that I got the Kukri Leo DeLuca combo down on the table, and then Bedeviled was basically the very next card I draw. So I can't use it. It'd be so much fun to try to take this thing down with a Kukri. But so we've got the Piper. How do we deal with the Piper? The Piper, we do have Dig Deep, but we would need to be a survivor to do it. So let's switch. We'll switch to survivor. He's a hunter, I assume. Yeah. Our first skill test is going to be 2v2. But we can spend... Does it also surge? That's ridiculous. Oh, it does surge. Wow. Oh, yeah, now we're dead. For sure. For sure. We get the Mega Witch. What is she at? How many witches are in here? Just the one? Just the one. So she's a 3/3/3. Well, we had a really good run. The deck did a lot better than I was thinking it was going to. We managed to get pretty far down the road, and I think we were in a good spot to actually... I think we could have killed Annette, but we ended up getting delayed, and we haven't seen any of our additional cards to draw to discover clues, which has really hurt us because these 4 shroud locations just lock us. Even this 2 shroud location, it took us quite a while to grab that clue. So we've been investigating at 3v2 and 3v3 the entire game, which is not a recipe for success. So we can evade. Let's see if we can't evade them. She's not a hunter, so if we can get away from her, we have a chance. So let's evade the Piper. We're going to go... We're 2v2, but we're going to spend 3 resources to go 3v2. 3 resources to go 5v2. Chaos Bag says -2, so we have evaded the Piper. Hi Ramon, welcome to the stream. We are playing the Witching Hour on the Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes. So we generated a random deck of jank, and and have been playing it. We have a ton of, as you can see, I've got a Kukri in play, I've got a Dig Deep in play, I've got Occult Lexicon in play. So yeah, lots of bizarre cards. Yes, very, very strange mix of cards here. Let's play our resort. Yeah, we are a seeker. Let's play. We are a survivor. So let's play resourceful to go 4v3. I can't play the improvisation. That's my only chance to grab a clue. 4v3. Come on, Chaos Bag. I need this one. -2. Okay, so that fails. Let's try again. What does she hit us for? 2 damage. No, I can't take 2 damage. If I use my improvisation to get away from this woman, I'm toast. I could evade her and then get rid of a Bedeviled, but this guy's going to kill me next turn as soon as I stay here. I need to use it. I hate to do it, but I don't have much choice. So we're going to go 3, 4, 5 v3. Oh, and I draw the -3. Come on. Yeah, I know, Jan, that's the problem. I'm dead either way. I lose. The thing is, I'm trying to save Leo, and I die either way. That's the problem. We'll try to go 3v3. That's not great. Get a -2. Yeah. So we go to the enemy phase. We take a damage from the. We take 2 damage from the witch, which kills Leo, and then we take another 2 horror, which kills us. So. Oh well, we didn't. We knew it wasn't going to go well. It went better than I expected, but yeah, we just ended up getting ground down beneath all of these treacheries in our threat area, and then we had the Piper appear, which I guess is that's a first for me. And I thought when we got Leo and the Kukri down, I thought, you know, maybe we've got a chance to win this. And then we drew our first Bedeviled. And I thought, okay, maybe if we draw a witch, we can get rid of that. Then we drew the second Bedeviled, and at that point, it was like, now we're hooped. Yeah, we just needed one clue, and the problem is we did put a newspaper and a. I thought I put a newspaper in. Oh, look at that! I'm looking at the deck here. We have Magnifying Glass is the next card, and then the very next card is newspaper. The newspaper wouldn't have helped us since we had clues, but the Magnifying Glass would have at least given us even odds, or 4v4 versus those 4 Shroud locations. So the 4 Shroud locations really hurt us because there's just nothing you can do. You're going 3v4, so you're basically hoping for a +1 or. Yes, yeah, and I did mention that at the beginning, just to run down the news. For those of you who just joined us, we will be. I did end up winning that last scenario because I can't do math properly. When I played Ashcan versus Where Doom Awaits, I was 5 up when I pulled the -5 on the Winging It action. So I did win that scenario, so I will be playing Ashcan Pete versus Lost in Time and Space to wrap up that campaign. So that will be, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, probably next week sometime. So that was a nice surprise when people messaged me to say that I had actually won. The other bit of news I had at the beginning was that it looks like the U.S. shipping dates for Weaver of the Cosmos and Blood of Balshandor have been pushed back to June. So those will be out in June, supposedly, at the earliest in the U.S. and up here on the plateau in Canada. We will also have The Blob That Ate Everything is supposedly coming out in July, followed by Forgotten Age, Return to the Forgotten Age, and the Investigator starter decks are slated for August, which means the Innsmouth Conspiracy Deluxe expansion is not unlikely to come out before September at the earliest, and that of course depends on how things go with the COVID-19 pandemic. If their shipping department opens earlier, we may see them, but I think as long as things are locked down in a vast majority of places, they can ship the product, but it will just not get sold because stores are not open, certainly not here. And yes, before I forget, there is also Barkham Horror at some point in that mix. So there's lots of content for the Arkham Horror LCG in the pipeline. We just need this pandemic to work its way through the system so we can get some of that product in our hands. In the meantime, I am hoping to stream at least 2, maybe 3 times a week, and I will have I'm also busy at work on my reviews, so I will have reviews coming up for all of the sets that I have not reviewed so far. That's first up will be 1,000 Shapes of Horror, followed by the rest of them. I also have a couple of In the Know episodes that I am hoping to do. One will be on I'm drawing a blank. Triggers. We're going to take a look at triggered abilities, and because that's one area of the game that I often forget, that you can trigger cards in other people's threat areas as well as whatnot. So we're going to take a look at triggers, and we're also going to look at, for beginning players, the concept of diminishing returns. So they get a better idea as to when to commit cards and when not to commit cards, because there are cards that have a ton of icons on them, but sometimes if you commit those icons, you're not going to get full value for them, depending on how you're doing on the test. So that's what's planned. The streaming is for sure. The reviews are for sure. The In the Know stuff, hopefully I will find some time to get that done as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me here for the Ultimatum of Chaos with Lola Hayes. It was fun. I think I'm actually going to play this. I'm going to probably play this more often because it was fun. It was challenging, especially for a player like myself who's played at this point hundreds of games of Arkham Horror. To play with cards that I don't typically play with, to find combos that I don't typically play with. It was the thing that kind of surprised me the most about a lot of the cards is how a lot of them turned out to be useful even when they didn't seem to be, like Dig Deep. It's not a card that I have played with very often, but all of a sudden in this scenario, it became useful. And same with the Kukri. Not a card I play with, but all of a sudden, if you've got Leo on the table, you're able to take that extra action to deal +1 damage. So that wasn't bad. Yes, it is seriously crazy on. But I figured, I was looking at the investigators. The reason I chose Lola is because you're truly chaos. You're truly getting the chaos. With some of the other investigators, say if you chose Daisy, for example, you're going to get a lot of Seeker cards, which is going to work. I mean, it's good. Because you're going to get a lot of Seeker cards. You're going to get a lot of crazy Mystic cards, but still, I mean, she's got 5 intellect, right? So that changes. If I'd played Daisy instead, I think we would have done much better, because then, of course, we're investigating. We're doing much better at investigating. But yes, Lola is definitely hard mode on this, but I think I will play it again because it was a lot of fun, and it was. I may not have won, but it was a good game. It was enjoyable. So and that's all you can hope for. So I will be back. I also have playthroughs of all the Dream Eater stuff to do as well, so keep your eye posted for that. I probably won't stream that. I'll just record them separately as much as I enjoy the streaming. So stay tuned for those as well. We've got Luke Robinson running through the Dream side and Patrice Hathaway running through the Waking side. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today. We will be back with more content next week, or maybe on the weekend. You never know. And I hope everyone out there is safe and healthy and taking care of each other. And I hope that your Arkham horror games are going awesome. Thanks again to the patrons for supporting the channel. I couldn't do it without you. And I will be back with more Arkham horror content, so stay tuned. Thanks, everyone. That is going to do it for the stream today. If you enjoyed this content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromleng@gmail.com. I am also on Twitter at manfromleng. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.